So, how does property management work? I think the big question you have is, since a lot of people are from out of town, they don't necessarily own properties here, or they're thinking about purchasing properties here. I'm going to go in depth on this, and so you can maybe understand it, wrap your head around it, and kind of get a better idea. But watch this whole video because this is going to explain a lot of things to you. The first thing is there's three entities. There's not just the property management. I think that's what you think about when you're renting this thing out. Who's the company I'm going to use and what's their split? That's it. There's so much more to it than that. Because there's three entities. There's the property management company, there's the rental management company, and then there's the homeowners association. So let's break this out here. The property management is one T. Okay. The rental management is another team, and the HOA. Okay, so you notice that there's this management on each one of these. Okay, so the thing with it is property management, when you think in the sense of property management, should encompass everything, but it does not. And there's a reason why they have to break these up into separate entities, and the reason for that is because of what they actually do. So I want you to understand the whole picture rather than just, okay, what do I end up with? So I want to see how you get there. Property management. Okay, now property management is a company who's managing the actual property. Okay, so think about this. The pool, the grounds. Okay, see, these are things that are outside the company, the actual outside the unit itself, okay, if that makes any sense. So, you know, your electric bill, okay, so this would be electric outside of on the grounds, you know, how about the parking lots? Who maintains the parking lots? Who maintains the grass cutting? Who maintains all of the exterior of the building? How about the roof? What happens at the roof? All these things are the actual property. Okay, now this could be in a condo complex where there's a bunch of different condos, or it could be in a resort area where there's even houses. There's a property management. I just want you to understand the entity of what it is and who it is and what their main functions are of that, if that makes sense. So the second thing is, and this is the money, okay, this is the actual property where it actually it gets maintained. This is the actual money. Okay, this is where your income comes from, and that's the rental management company. Who deals with if you rent it out by the night, by the week, or by the month? Okay, so if it's rented by the night and it's a condo, they consider it a condotel. Watch some of our other videos. If you watched any of these before, you know, we do these to educate you so that you avoid the pitfalls that are costly, and that's our goal with all these videos. But the income, okay, so who takes care of the towels? Who takes care of the cleaning? Who takes care of the linens? Who takes care of the kicking? You got a bad tenant, you got to get him kicked out. Who takes care of, okay, there's a stopped up toilet? Who's going to do that, right? So the rental management company is the one who takes care of that. Now let's break this out, because there's two entities here. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me see. Okay, so there's on-site. Okay, and then there's off-site. Okay, the on-site. This would be someone who's got a front desk, okay, who's got a rental, an office right there on the grounds. That's the on-site, okay? And sometimes you can have a vacancy sign out or something like that, and they see, okay, they walk up and they'll rent right from the unit. Now, if you're in a rental pool, which you would put on any of these rental management companies, you're in a rental pool with everybody else in there. As long as your unit is maintained well and you stay in that rental pool and you make sure that you are getting, you know, somebody can walk up and rent right from you. This would be the on-site company, and what they do is they will rent it by the night, by the week, by the month. Off-site is usually they have to book in advance, okay? So, you know, you might get a 3-night, a 5-night, you might get a week, you might get a month. The off-site company is usually not there on-site, so if the toilet does stop up, they don't have somebody on-site, okay, to take care of it, and that water may flow for a little while. So preventative maintenance wise, the on-site usually will give you faster service. You know, can you call up for more towels or linens? With this company, you know, they got to drive somebody over there, or there's something that's broken, the door handle broke or something like that. So this is rental management. They take care of, while someone is in your unit, those little simple things, okay? This property management takes care of all the stuff on the outside your doors, outside your sliding glass doors, your front door. The property management, property, notice, interior, okay? So those are two. The on-site management, now let's get into the money of it, which is, I can't get into specifics, and the reason for that is because, look, every company is going to have a different thing, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but the on-site company usually is going to charge a little bit more for that service, but they may pick it up in rents. Now, what I have seen, because I look at all the numbers on every single property, every resort, every single condo complex, I look at the rental numbers, and they call it the GRI, gross rental dollars. Those are the things that you can't see on the internet, but when you meet with one of our team members, and our team has helped thousands of people to buy and sell real estate here on the Grand Strand. So when you meet with them, we can give you the back end and of how much this stuff is. And the reason for that is because when we get down to, even in one block period, you know, you have maybe 4 complexes, condos in there. Every single one of them is different. There's no way I can give you a blanket statement. I know that's what you're looking for, and I know people will be mad because I'm not giving them the information. The fact is one may be at a different split, different management. Maybe one you want to have an off-site company because they do a much better job than the on-site company, and the other one right next door to it does a much better job at the management company on-site because they're just a rental machine. And again, if you're looking for investment properties, the rental machines usually outperform, and we're going to show you those numbers. There's also privacy, so we can't give out public information, and that's the actual hard numbers, and put it out on the internet because of privacy. Look, somebody owns that unit right now. They're looking to sell it, yes, but you're going to have to, you know, talk to us so that we can give you that information. When you meet here in our office, by the way, we have spreadsheets on all this stuff, and that's the way to get the information. You know, the internet is a great tool. It'll get you started, but you can't, it's not Amazon. You're not going to go click subscribe, click buy, because you don't see the reviews. You aren't seeing all the, is there any issues with the homeowners association or management, or is there pending litigation, or is something getting built right next door, and is something going to block that view, or is something going to restrict traffic? These are things I want you to understand, and then when you get serious and you're ready to do this, you know, make an appointment. But anyway, let's get back to this. So the on-site has some opportunities that the off-site does not have as far as picking up rental income. Both of these entities are going to, or supposed to, depending on how efficient or non-efficient, and that's where our team is going to give you, is this a better way to go or that one? Because we're going to run all the numbers. When you get down here, you're looking at properties, we're going to run all the numbers so that the cream rises to the top, and then you just milk the cows. You just understand, okay, well, that one's much better opportunity than this one is because of the splits and how it works and how much money they come in. Because a lot of times you can bring in more money, but then of course the split may be different, and we're going to get into that in a second. The third thing is the HOA management. Okay, the HOA, Homeowners Association. The Homeowners Association are the people who actually own the units. Okay, so let's pretend like we've got a condo complex and there's 100 units in the building, so there's 100 homeowners. Now, many of the people do not live here, okay, so they're not managing anything, okay, so they usually get a liaison, and that liaison is going to assist the homeowners. So let's say you're back in wherever state you are and you're managing this property, somebody else is managing this for you. The Homeowners Association, you have a liaison that you can talk to. You pick the phone up and you say, hey, what's going on with blah, blah, blah. Or the liaison, homeowners management company, is where you actually pay your homeowners fees, and then it gets distributed out to, not the rental management, this is a separate entity, gets distributed out to the property management so that it actually can manage your property. There's actually people who will work on the pool. They're not the homeowners association. They're actually electricians that work on the outside grounds and the lights and the sidewalks and all those other things that are outside. The homeowners association is not doing that. They're managing homeowners associations, all those people together that are managing that property. Nobody wants to let the property value go down in value, so these are the people that are working with you. Now, since nobody is here necessarily, there's a liaison, and that person is hands on the ground. They're hired by the homeowners association. They actually maybe have a desk where you can walk in, you're here, you can talk to them when you're a homeowner. They won't talk to you if you're not a homeowner. This is the confusion. You know, people walk in, they say, hey, I want all the rental numbers and everything. They're like, this is privacy. Somebody else owns that unit. They're not going to give you that information. When you work with us, our team, we have all those spreadsheets. We can sit down. You sit down in our office. We're going to go through each one of these and show you. This is a little bit deeper than, like, you know, when your first question was, how does property management work since I'm from out of town? There's a lot more here, and I want to make sure that you're educated so you don't make a bad decision, you make a smart decision, but we want to make sure that you avoid the pitfalls as well, because we know associations that you want to run from. I mean, like, get out of, okay? You want to have associations and homeowners management companies. You want the property management company, excuse me, that will be hands-on, okay? So if the property management feeds all of their stuff out, okay, to a third party, which some of them do, there's another layer in there where you're spending money, okay, that you don't necessarily have to. If they're more hands-on or proactive, which I really like, I personally have own condos, and a lot of our clients own condos in places that are more proactive than some of the other places that are all over the, you know, there's thousands of condo complexes here. I just want you to understand that. So some of them are very hands-on, and others just, you know, like to write a check because, you know, it's not their money and they'll go farm it out to somebody else. Where other people will be proactive and, hey, we see a crack in something there, we're going to fix that before it becomes a real issue and then it gets even worse. You know, those are the types of things you want hands-on because it's going to save you money in the long term. The other thing that you want about the homeowners association that I want to talk to you about is fees, because a lot of people don't understand the fees. They say, I don't want a high homeowners association. Stop and listen to this, please. Homeowners association is the costs of what it takes to run the joint, okay? So if you're running the joint, and in some cases you get a low homeowners association, let's pretend now that you have a house. A house is over here, a condo is over here. In your house, you've got to pay for your electric, your water, your insurance, your HOA, your cable, your internet. Maybe you have to pay for trash. Maybe you have to pay for any other amenities that you have on. And you also have to pay for all the exterior, everything on the outside. You got to pay for your roof. You got to pay for anything that goes wrong in your house. And so realize there's a real cost with that. Now let's go over to the condo, the HOA. I don't want a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, high homeowners association. Many times it's much less than if you had in a house, okay? Because the group together is buying the insurance, which if you're on the beach, the big insurance is the flood insurance and the building insurance itself, you know, fire and that sort of thing. Those are the two big costs in a building. If you had to go have a beachfront house and buy that policy yourself, it's going to be very expensive. But if you're in that association with the 100 other people in there, it's much less. Plus, you're buying it as a group and in bulk. So when you buy things as group, like group policies, insurances and group policies, they're usually a lot less, okay? They've also had someone on the homeowners association who's looked that policy over to make sure it has all the things and provisions that you want in there. So if that makes any sense, you know, give me a thumbs up. Let me know on this, if this information is helping you, please comment below and let me know, because I'm doing this for you to make sure that you understand these things. It's not just about the management, there's a lot of other things going on here. But I just want to get you this information so you can kind of wrap your head around it before we actually start talking the dollars, because when you get here to the office, that's when we're going to show you why one thing makes more sense than the other. Anyway, so the HOA, you want a hands-on homeowners association, okay? I personally own properties in places that have kind of a hands-off approach with some low homeowners association fees. They cash flowed very well. Those properties were not an issue. Speaking of cash flow, I'm going to put my hat on here. Cash flow, because it's all about the flow, right? Cash flow. The cheap is seldom good, and the good is seldom cheap. Okay? The cheap is seldom good, and the good is seldom cheap. I have found the money in your pocket at the end of the day, when you're buying the low end, usually is not going to give the best returns. It's usually going to have something where you got to write a check to keep it. Okay? There are a handful of anomalies like that do work, but I'm saying a handful. Usually they're in buildings that there is no inventory in right now. But if you go search the internet by yourself, again, this is one of these things people think they know a lot, but this is what we do every single day. We do it. We're very good at it. We know the ins and outs. We know what to stay away from and what to look for. But in the right buildings, there are properties that are not even listed for sale right now because there are none available. Now, why are there none available? If you see a building that has a ton of properties available, usually there's something going on in there. Usually it's a homeowners association issue, something going on with they're asking for some kind of an assessment or something else happening. We have our ear to the ground and we know about these things prior to. So again, we're here to help our clients. If you're not our client, I hope you're having a good time. I hope this is educational for you. And a lot of people do this. They'll look, they come in and they say, "Oh, you have great videos. Thank you so much." And then they never even come in and make an appointment with us. And so then they come back, and I've had people to call and say, "Look, your videos were great and everything. I ended up going with another company, and boy, am I sorry that happened." This is the reason. It's not just these videos. Look, if you haven't done it, book the appointment. The internet, you can go look at all this stuff on the internet. That's one step. The second step is getting your money together, making sure you're having 25% down so that you're not paying PMI and all these other things. Yeah, you can do it for less, but then you're running into the cash flow problem. Okay, so do it 25%. But then we've had a lady call me up this week. Again, here's a thing that happens every single week. She calls me up this week. "You were right. Please sell this condo for me that I bought with another company. And I want to then put that money into another condo, whatever you suggest." And so, again, that's what my team did. We got her in the right place, and guess what happened? She's just going to be putting money in her pocket. And that's what we want for you to happen. We don't want you to have the place at the beach. If it's an investment, a true investment, that's what you're looking for, I know. So anyway, please let me know what your thoughts are on this video. I hope this helped. I hope I didn't ramble too long because it's a little bit more in-depth. Again, we'll go back to it. Property management manages the outside of the building. There are people that are hands-on. They take care of a lot of stuff there. The rental management is what's inside your unit, your actual unit itself. It could be an on-site, it could be an off-site company, it could be somebody who's actually taking care of the money. Also, I didn't say this, they're going to give you a monthly statement with the income that came in and any expenses, so there's also the accounting factor with this. And then the HOA management, they're going to also have an accounting because they have to account for where the money comes in. So if you write a check for the homeowners association, that's it. Oh, I want a condo on the beach with no homeowners association. There is no such thing. Stop dreaming about that because it doesn't happen. There's no such thing as a condo with no homeowners association because there's usually somebody has to pay for something, somebody has to act and do something on behalf of all the others. That's another thing that I've heard people have these ideas in their mind. I got to tell you that the idea that may be rattling around your mind, you've convinced yourself that the realtors are holding these properties back because they can buy them all themselves, or the anomaly that you hear yourself saying, "Oh, I can buy a cheap place at the beach and it's going to give me all this cash flow and stuff." There's a reason why. If it's cheap, there's a reason why. Usually, again, the cream of the crop is going to give you the best long-term, the best properties that have been long-term. Year over year, when you look at this rental income, the best properties, usually when you purchase with us, now this is not the same everywhere, I'm going to tell you this, but when you purchase with us on a condo, for instance, okay, we're going to get the deed covenants, the meeting minutes, and the current budget. Let's break that down. Deed covenants. Why do we get these for our clients? Clients, not the people who are looking on the internet. We're talking about our clients who have come in the office and booked the appointment. We get the deed covenants. Deed covenants is the manual of all the rules and regulations. We want to make sure that you're satisfied with anything in there that is the way you want it. So if there's something in there about pets, you have a pet and they don't allow pets, even though you see pets in the complex, it could come back on you and backfire. I want you to avoid those pitfalls. Motorcycles, they don't allow motorcycles, other things like that. Just so the deed covenants, the rules, the regulations on how everybody's supposed to act. And the reason they're there is because, again, your neighbor won't have the barking dog all night. You see, it helps everybody. But you can have an owner pet, or it might be a weight limit, or it might be that you can't have a commercial vehicle with all this graphic lettering on it in your parking garage. Why? Because, again, it helps everybody. Okay, it's the rules and the regulations. So deed covenants, meeting minutes. What are meeting minutes? Okay, the homeowners association has a yearly meeting. In that meeting, we want to make sure that in the meeting minutes that we're covering the anything that's going on. It's going to come out. Okay, this is happening over and over again. What are we going to do about it? That kind of thing. If you get a copy of the meeting minutes, which we do for our clients, again, because of privacy issues and stuff, you can't get a lot of this stuff. This is the internet, is not the Amazon. You see all this stuff I'm talking about. You want to make sure that you know all this stuff before you get in. Okay, so then if there's a pending litigation, let's say there's an assessment or something's happening with an elevator, we need to upgrade to high-speed elevators or something. Do they have enough in there? Okay, or are they covered for that? Now, this is the third thing is the budget. Is the property full? Do they have the flow, the cash flow? Okay, the money comes in. It goes into the homeowners association. They should have reserves, okay, which means over and above, money over and above. The homeowners are all covered on all their expenses. All the things that have to do, and they have budgeted for the future. So in other words, let's say that carpeting in the hallways, which we all know wears out after time, and let's say it wears out because they've already budgeted every 4 years, 5 years, 2 years, whatever it is that they're going to put in new carpet. So like $1 from each person goes in on a monthly basis into this pot so that way that carpet is automatically covered. Or if it's a weak homeowners association, then they go, oh, well, we need some money because we got to replace the carpet. You see the difference? Yes or no? Thumbs up, thumbs down, let me know. So the other thing is so on that, you want to make sure that they've got reserves to cover all those expenses. The doors on the outside need painting. This needs that. The pool needs resurfacing. The parking lot needs this, needs stripes. We need that. All those things, there's lighting on the outside. We're upgrading to, let's say the association goes from old incandescent to LED lighting. Okay, it's more efficient. So the energy cost, the electric bill is going to be less, right? So those are the things that you want to make sure that you understand before you get in, and that's why I'm giving you this information right now, is we go to work, when you hire us to go to work for you, when you come in the office and meet, we're going to talk about a lot of things. It's going to be a full education. The internet is a great tool. You've heard me say it. It does not answer all the questions, as you can just see here. I just went over some things. It's a little bit long-winded, but I hope you're getting something out of it. For you that are still here and looking, and at this point in the video, because it's so long, there's one more bonus thing I do want to talk to you about. And, okay, we talked about the homeowners association and what's included, and they are not all the same, okay? Keep this in your mind. You've been looking on the internet. After you're ready to do, and you're ready to actually purchase something, keep this video in your mind, okay? Because I want you to go back to this. Rental management is one thing because they will give you different returns on your investment, okay? So depending upon which management company, which building you end up in, is going to be a drastic difference on what your outcome is, okay? And the drastic difference on your outcome is also going to be who you choose to help you with this. And by the way, for these services, it costs you zero. If you're using one of our buyer's agents on our team, there is no cost for this service, okay? We're working for you in your best interest in all relevant areas of this transaction. So, don't think that you can, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do this by myself, there's no cost for this. Just book that appointment. When you buy something, there's no cost still. We aren't charging you a thing, okay? Okay, so let's talk about homeowners association. I'm back to this. And what's included and what's not included. All homeowners association fees are not a blanket across the board of this is what is included in the homeowners association. If you see a number on the internet, it varies, okay? and you can see that there's all different prices and different things. You may or may not have everything included in that dollar amount that you pay on a monthly basis. Now here's why. Because the property management company is different on each one of these, okay? They may use a different management company. So the way they calculate, oh look, we're going to cover all of these other things on the outside of the building, or between the homeowners and the property management. We're going to cover all these things on the outside of the building, and we aren't going to cover anything on the inside. Whereas on the other management companies, the other homeowners association, they decided rather than having meters in each single unit, they're going to collectively put together how much the electric bill is on a monthly basis, break it out per owner, and it's included in the HOA. Does that make sense to you? Because there's two different things. Now, during the summer, you could get, one that you're not paying anything on the inside, any water bills or whatever, or electric bills, and you get a crazy water bill or a crazy electric bill because somebody has left the sliding glass door open all summer long because they paid rent, and they wanted to hear the waves out there because it's oceanfront. Okay, I've owned properties in those types of buildings, and I'm going to tell you that you can get those shock bills, and it makes a huge difference on the ones that have it inside your homeowners association. Inside, usually because you're maintaining that same monthly, you know what it is. It's not going to be any more. It's not going to be any less, and you know what your income is going to be, and that's it. Okay, so those are usually the best. Okay, if you're thinking about it from an investment standpoint. Now, if we're talking about properties, you've gotten to this point so far, and you're talking about properties that you're personally going to live in, or you're going to live in a portion of the year, and you're going to rent it out. We need to talk, because that's a whole nother entity. I just hope it still covers a lot of these, but there's a whole nother thing that I want to talk to you about, or my team wants to talk to you about, and show you. We're going to show you the difference between one and the other. When you see them side by side, this is going to make a lot more sense than obviously this video, or it's going to make a lot more sense than, okay, I've been looking at properties, I'm all excited, I looked at this, pick up the phone, how about this one? Hey, do you think? No, and go through the whole scenario. How about this one? No. Again, the internet's a great tool. Keep looking, it's great, but then go ahead and get your money together. And the third thing is then book the appointment, because you're going to get a full education. You're going to know what to look for, what to stay away from. And again, we're here to help. That's why we do these videos. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and click subscribe. We have new videos every week. I do this to help you avoid the pitfalls that are costly. And wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. We look forward to talking to you soon. And if you go ahead and share this with somebody who could use it, because you might have a friend or a family member who's thinking about this, or even not here in this state. This kind of explains a lot of things about how these entities work and how they can help you or hurt you. So we're here to give you the correct and accurate information. The internet is full of stuff that is absolutely not true. And that's why we're putting this information out for you, so that you get the correct, most up-to-date and accurate information. Take care, and I will see you in the next video.